Welcome back, my dear students. I hope you guys are really excited. So today we're going to be learning a little bit more about data binding. As a matter of fact, this is the first lecture about data binding. Even though we string interpolation, we did a little bit of data binding by kind of, binding our data here to our app, but this is called a string interpolation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a save as on index. I'm going to call this data binding.html. Like this. I want you to follow me, guys. Okay, this is super important that you do, so that way you learn this faster. And inside that data binding.html file, I'm gonna start showing you, demonstrating you what we're talking about with data binding. So let's say, for example, that you have a link here, and you have some type of property here with a link address. It's called the URL. That's the property, and let's just delete this message. The address is going to be https, and this is going to be my personal blog, edwindiaz.com. Okay, and you want it to actually output it right here, and you would do something like this. You think you could do something like that, right? We can use string interpolation there. We can say URL, and we come back here. We double click on that file, and we see that it is working here. But when we click it, it gives us some weird address. And don't worry about this localhost here. This is my personal built-in server that I got with my IDE. When you double click on your file, you should be able to, see that error as me, like this, with all these percentages and numbers in the URL string there. So this is not working, okay? When you are doing things like this, you might want to do bbind, which is binding that attribute, that HTML attribute, to your data here. Now, mine is highlighting this in red because I have no support right now. I don't know what's going on with my plugin, but it's not, bbind is not working. So I'm going to use a shorthand, which is available as well. You just take the bbind off and leave the colon right here, href, and that's the same thing. Okay, so if I refresh, you can see this is not going to work now. I just have to take this out there and refresh. And now if I click on this, you can see that it is going to take me to that website. So it is working now. Okay, so that's one way of doing data binding. Now remember that you can bind to any HTML attribute that you want. So if you want to bind to, let's say, an H1 that has an ID of, I don't know, bots, or this is going to be some dynamic ID, and you have it in a data attribute here, and you say dynamic ID. Okay, that could be any value. It could be maybe a 3, 4, 3000, whatever. Here you can display it so you can see it. Let's come down here and write that ID down, that name, dynamic ID. I'm gonna make it 30 for my age. And then I'm a little bit older than that. And let's go ahead and go back here. Let's refresh, and we can see that it does say 30. But if I check that data attribute, I'm gonna do inspect element by doing right click and inspect. Let's see what we get in that data attribute. We got just text here, dynamic attribute. The value is text. Let's bind it by doing a colon, and remember that it's the same thing as doing b-bind. Okay, let's refresh now, and now you can see that value changed to 30, which is the same value we got down here. Okay, so with bbind, or the shorthand colon here, you can bind any attribute of your HTML with your app data, which is really cool. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next lecture.